Plants have hidden colour inside their leaves. So they might look really boring and not that exciting. They might just be weeds on the side of the road. But once you boil them up, there's some beautiful colours you can access, and I would never have guessed. And a lot of people think, oh, this plant has this colour flowers, it must make this colour, or it has this colour leaves, and that's rarely true. I'm Heather and I'm a natural dyer. I became fascinated with the colours that you can get from plants. So quite a few years ago now, maybe 20 years ago, when I started spinning wool and learning how to make my own yarn, and then I found that you could make your own colour, and I was really intrigued. People love learning how to dye with plants because it does give you that extra connection with the plants and the garden and the flora. So this is a Japanese indigo I've been growing, Persicuria tinctoria. This is a traditional Japanese plant used for dyeing, and it grows really easily in the garden. And we're going to pick these fresh leaves, and they contain an indigo blue inside, which we're going to extract. I think that handful will be great to put in the blender. And we're going to blend it up with some ice to slow down the oxidation process and dye some silk with it. So I've got the Japanese indigo leaves. I'm going to pick them off, separate them from the stems. And I've got some ice and cold water in the blender. So I've filled that up to make an indigo leaf smoothie with it. This is Indigofera tinctoria from India, but you could make it from this Japanese indigo as well. That's a dried indigo pigment that's extracted from leaves like this. This blue pigment is how everything was dyed until the late 19th century. So this was more valuable than gold back in the day because it was the only way to source blue, and it was grown all around the world. So this is the fresh leaf method. You can see it's slowly going blue, little turquoise. We get a nice light blue out of that. One of my favourite plants to use is it's a native, the cherry bellite, that gives the rich mustards and golds and yellows. And when I over dye that with the indigo, I get beautiful greens. And that I find locally and forage from roadsides. There's plenty of it growing around. There's other few plants that I can grow, goldenrod and weld, that I do for yellows, and these are all traditional plants as well. And then there's other beautiful flowers, like even dahlias and sunflowers make beautiful colours, and you don't have to pick the flowers before they've bloomed. You enjoy their blossoms. And the other ones I love working with are the indigo bearing plants. Indigo as a pigment isn't soluble in water, so we have to make a vat so we're able to dye with it. This is my iron indigo vat using ferrous sulfate. The ferrous sulfate takes the oxygen out of the water, and there's also lime, hydrated lime, which makes it alkaline. So as I start pulling it out, you can see the yellow colour in the cloth. It's coming out yellow, and it's hitting the oxygen, starting to turn green. Indigo, you get depth of colour by layering up. So I always do at least 3 dips to get an even colour. But it is a magical process, seeing that transformation. So as a natural dyer, using plant dyes, you're really aiming to get Colourfast colours. So ones that are light fast, so they won't fade in the sun. Ones that are wash fast, where the colour won't wash out. So you've got that longevity. To get this blue, I've done a lot of natural dyeing, and I always put indigo in the too hard basket, but it was the colour missing from my colour palette. Once I learnt how to make the vat and how to maintain it, it's opened up a whole new world. People are becoming a bit more aware about a lot of chemicals that are in use around their home or in the production of their clothing that they wear, and they really like to understand the colours that they've created to create their garments or their cloth, it doesn't have any chemicals involved. It's an individual creation from my own heart, my own hands and my own mind, and I love being able to do that.